All right, beautiful people. So today we're talking about what are some angle relationships created when a line crosses two others. So we're going to do a few vocabulary things, and then we're going to talk about what happens when this happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to define what's called a transversal. Okay, transversal can be split into two different parts. Trans means across, and versal is kind of like lines. So transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines. Okay, and an example of that is if I've got two lines, doesn't matter what they look like, and then I've got this line right here that crosses them. Notice this line right here, the one that I just now drew, goes across both of those original lines. So if I called this like line M, and this one line N, and this one line K, I would say that line K, is a transversal because it transverses, or it goes across, both lines M and line N. Okay. Now, line M and N kind of look like they're parallel, but they don't have to be. Like, you could have transversals for all different types of angles. Like maybe these are your two lines and this is your transversal. This could also be a line K, and this could be a line M and a line N. Okay. Notice the only qualification here is that transversal has to cross both the other lines. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the angles that are created when you have a transversal. So in this diagram that I've already created, we have a few angles. We've got angle, let's call this angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Now, each of these angles have relationships to the other ones. So we're going to talk about when we have a bunch of different angle relationships. So there are things called corresponding angles. There are things called alternate interior angles. There are things called alternate exterior. And there are things called consecutive interior. And I guess you could say consecutive exterior also. Okay, so we're going to define them one at a time. We're going to start with corresponding angles. So I'm going to draw a line here and I'm going to draw a diagram. Okay, so I've drawn a line being crossed by a transversal K, and angles 2 and angle 6 are called corresponding. Okay, and corresponding basically means that it's at the same corner of the intersection of the transversal. So it's in the same corner of the intersection of the transversal. So since K intersects line, I'm going to call it line N and line M. K intersects line M here, then 2 is in the top right-hand corner. And then K intersects line N here, 6 is in the top right-hand corner. They're in the same location, okay? Another pair of corresponding, so I'm going to actually write they're in the same location. Corresponding to or related to the transversal. Okay. So another pair of corresponding angles are angles 1 and 5. Because angle 1 is in the top left-hand corner and angle 5 is in the top left-hand corner of that intersection. Okay. Here's another pair of corresponding angles, angle 3 and angle 7. Because they're in corresponding corners. 3 is in the bottom left-hand corner, 7's in the bottom left-hand corner. And then last but certainly not least is angle 4 and 8. They're in corresponding corners. If you're going to label all the angles, please make sure that you use colors to denote which ones go together. So angle 4 and 8, obviously angle 5 and 1, angle, etc., etc. Okay, corresponding angles. Next.